Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Vaughn.
And I'm Deja Powell.
And we are here to bring you Tailr. I want to take you on a journey real quick into the horrors of online clothes shopping. So say you see a friend or a classmate on the street one day, you see a shirt he likes, and you go online and you find the same shirt. Say you find it at Kohl's. All right, and you apply kind of general measurements, like I usually wear a medium in most of my shirts. And so I'm like, oh, it's probably a medium, so I'll buy a medium. But as we can see on this slide, brands have very different sizing measurements, and mediums fit very differently from brand to brand. As you can see, a Columbia medium on me kind of looks like a dress, and I wouldn't want that if I wanted this shirt. So that is one issue Tailr's looking to address. The next issue on the flip side of that is for the retailers. Billions of dollars every year are lost in returns because of online clothes shopping. It doesn't fit, they don't like it, it's not what they expected, and they send it back. So they lose billions because they can't resell that. They have to liquidate those clothing. Like it messes up their supply chain logistics. So we're looking to tack customer satisfaction on the clothing fits, and we're going to reduce returns for the retailers.
Now, for our target market, we are actually looking towards focusing on more local retailers as well as designers who typically have their own source of measurements and as well as has a bigger issue when it comes to returns on clothing. And then we will also want to branch out to more regional online retailers as well as hit the larger market of national online retailers.
So how is Tailr going to solve this specific issue? What Tailr is it's a packaged software that you can use through your web browser or an application. And what it's going to do is it's going to 3D image body scan your measurements. So it's as easy as taking a pictures. And it takes these measurements and it applies it against the database of the retailer. So we have the measurements of all of the clothing from the retailer, and we can apply your measurements against those brackets. So if you think you're a medium, when you apply it to the brackets of the retailer, say 36-inch chest is a large for Adidas, so to speak. So instead of being a medium in Adidas, you're a large. And it's going to tell you that. It'll self-populate when you go to checkout. It'll fill in the sizing compartment for you. So you will no longer have to guess how the clothes going to fit. You won't have to take out a tape measure and figure out the sizing chart online. It'll do it for you after you take one simple selfie.
Now, for our competitors, we have several competitors who are also offering somewhat of a similar product, but not as streamlined as ours. First, we have Tailr, which is where the idea actually came from. What they do is they 3D render your measurements by just taking a photo, and you spin around to get every single angle. And then what they do with that is that they send you a dress shirt or like dress pants. So what they're doing, they are sending a product. They are not actually helping you. They're not actually helping you with the online process of having to find your size in different brands. We also have True Fit, where most retailers are also using, but again, you have to input your actual measurements, so that still requires you having to measure out, or you'll have to determine which brand you typically wear, and it'll tell you that you might be that size. You might be that size in this particular brand, but in a different brand, it will be different. And we also have Body.me. They also have a 3D scan, but in order for you to do that, you have to travel to London. So we are trying to bring this straight to your home and not having to travel. For our revenue streams, we are actually looking to produce an app that it will be free to the consumer, as well as have the retailers use this product for free for like a trial period, possibly in like a three-month quarter. But that way they can see how the sales are doing with this product, and then we can have a contract where we have affiliate links, and we also have advertisement where with every click off of our app, the consumer will be directed towards their link to purchase the item.
So how are we going to enter the market with this? What we're mainly looking to do right now is launch a series of email campaigns to the larger retailers such as Kohl's, Target, and we're going to just try and get our name across their desks so that they're hearing about us and they're recognizing that this is a beneficial service they could pick up. We're also going to go to trade shows to try and target more local and regional, smaller sized online retailers, such as I know there's a handful of individuals at this school who have their own clothing line and their own online retailer shop for it. So this would be a good way for them to differentiate their product from the mass of online retailers out there. Additionally, we're going to use social media influencers such as YouTube, Facebook, Instagram to push it to try and drive a consumer demand for it underneath the retailers. So if their customers are asking for it, then they're more apt to look us up and hear us out. And additionally, we're going to publish in publications for retailing markets so that consumers and retailers alike are just reading about our name.
And here we have a sample photo of how this app will work. So basically, it will take every measurement from your chest size, your waist size. You can also do your cuff size, and it will take all that data and put it inside and put it in the program where you can have your own profile. And we also have a website where you can also still have your measurements online, so that you can use a webcam or you can just use your phone as a way to get your measurements, and you can also save your profile, and you can also update it whenever you feel that you need to update it. And we also like to thank our team, Nicholas Farmer, who helped with our website, as well as Mira for the logo. So, thank you.
All right, you're playing in my house. My house is 3 questions. What's the value of the underlying data? Who is it valuable to, and when is it valuable? Because this is a data play as data plays come. Yeah, you're solving what I can wear and all that, but what's the value of the underlying data here?
The value of the underlying data here is it is going to, data on which end? The consumer end or the retailer end? Which is data?
Retailer.
Retailer end. So the way we're going to kind of edge our way into the retailing market and get their data is we're going to offer it as a free service to them. And we're not going to take anything off the back. If you just send us your manufacturing data, order list, and whatnot, like if you give us the information for the measurements of your clothes already in your inventory, then we will run it against our consumer database. And once we have enough data built up, we can sell this information back to them for statistics, like people in this people in this. Okay, so
good.
When you mentioned the app, the technology, is it patentable?
I do not believe that it will be patentable, because I believe we learned over the weekend that I think it was IP address.
You can't patent software in the
Yes,
United
software.
States, is what we were told. And there's that's not true. Okay, so because I heard there's a workaround with the coding for it, so it's patentable to a degree, but not entirely, because there's a handful of other retailers or businesses using very similar software in the marketplace right now, so we would be dipping into their marketplace, so to speak, but applying it on a larger scale. So.
Are you familiar with the business Untuck It?
I'm not.
They make shirts that are short.
Okay.
For short people, not like me, but for short people. And they specialize in that. They have a variety of clothing that do more and more of Untuck It. I don't know if they have a 3D scan, but you mentioned it. Why can't the 2 companies that have 3D scans, one was only in London, can't they come to the United States and already be your competitor?
That is a possibility. However, a lot of this market seems to be targeting European retailers like ASOS and huge companies out there. It's mainly driven towards them, and it's not necessarily edging its way over to the American market yet.
Why?
I'm not entirely sure, but that's mainly, there is a huge online retailing apparel market in Europe, so I understand why they initially started out there, because there is billions of dollars done in just Spain and France alone.
More than Asia?
We actually did not look too much at the Asian market stats for this, but because the main amount of software that's being applied is only here and in Europe, so.
Your background in clothing or anything at all, besides interest?
My background's in information systems and logistics, so I have some programming knowledge and whatnot.
Right.
So I'm trying to bring the tech side to online shopping, so.
And actually, my background is in fashion.
Yeah.
So I know a lot about the difficulties of measuring yourself and figuring out which size you are in different brands, or which size will fit you the best.
So what are you gonna do first? Are you gonna try to get a database of potential customers? Because what's the hook for the retailer to say, yeah, I'm gonna give you all this proprietary information I have about my clothing, you know, for the hope of a comeback? Are you gonna try to get a customer base ahead of time and say, we've got 100,000 people signed up that are ready to buy, if we can match them? Or are you gonna try to go to a retailer and say, we can match you with Adidas and Nike and Columbia and whatever? What's your strategy there? And why is it why do you think email will make an impact on those companies? I get hundreds of emails every day.
Excellent question. Our main attack for the beginning is going to be targeting really small online retailers and looking predominantly towards them, because it is kind of be hard to generate a consumer base without necessarily anything to apply it to. So we're going to look at more localized retailers. Like I have a friend who has an online clothing line down here, and so we probably look at him because it helps him differentiate his product. There's not a lot of cost for him up front, and we're able to tap into his consumer base immediately. So we can, that once we're partnered with him, we can then turn around and market to his already existing customers.
Would their interest though be somewhat questionable? I'm talking to retailers, because this is a tailor-made product, so it's like a one-off, or except for that customer who wants to come back and repurchase. It's not a volume business.
Well, hopefully what we're looking to do is,
And nothing wrong with being tailored.
Yeah.
I'm just saying as far as.
so what we're predominantly looking to do with this is we're mainly just trying to reduce their returns and have more happy returning customers to their website. So that's the main market for it, is we will only take money from the amount they save from returns. So if they don't witness any returns from using our product and whatnot, then that's on us.
I mean, just talk to J. Crew.
Yeah.
J. Crew will tell you right now, they got a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Problems where they didn't understand that the market had shifted. And I want to be able to do stuff on my mobile phone, do that transaction on there. But the whole side of it of how people do returns, the logistics that sit in there, they didn't think any of that thing through.
Yeah,
It's a nightmare.
there's a huge issue with PR right now. I think it's about 72% of people who shop online want a no hassle, no questions asked return policy, and that costs a lot of money for the retailers. So it's good to offer that to keep their customers satisfied, but at the same time, you need to reduce the amount of returns that are coming in through that.
Is there an
That's
opportunity
time.
to be a strategic partnership with some of these retailers like J. Crew or somebody?
That is hopefully what we'd be able to do down the road, is partner with larger retailers like that, maybe ones that are having an issue of breaking into this market. So.